Anyways, be ready for some very bad jokes from me. Hi, I'm Warner. Guys, words. Do you ever think about words? I think about words a lot. I call that my inner voice. And anyways, you know, people talk a lot. They say like long words, short words, medium-sized words. But anyhow, people at one point should like stop doing that. You know, like just stop saying words because it's like way too much. And just to put this into perspective, I Googled something right before coming here. Do you know how many words do women, different words, say on average per day? 20,000. 20,000 different words. Do you want to know how many guys say? About 7,000? Like, that's... It's not sexist, that's Google. Okay? So, just think about it this way. It's like twice as little, right? Well, you could say, and now this is the punchline, okay? Be careful, so you don't miss it. You could say they are men of few words. Thank you.
That's enough words for one day, I think. Well, not really, considering our next performance is a speech. Let's give it up for Jon Lim and his speech titled 20 Years.
Jon Lim. Your boy. It's your boy. Your boy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready to get some more words? The best words, the greatest words, actually. Wow. From where you guys are sitting, I must look really short. Like, shorter than I usually do. I mean, I'm like 5 foot 5 inches. You guys all don't use feet in inches, right? No one uses centimeters. I think about 2 years ago, if you guys have been here for a while, watching Spotlight in the past few years, I was with a guy named Alex, a good friend of mine. Let's give it up for Alex, who's not here right now. And we were doing a scene from the movie The Hobbit, which, that's why I said I'm short, because I'm about as short as a hobbit. But this time I'm not here with Alex, as you guys might have noticed. If you didn't notice that, then well, I wish you luck. Now, Spotlight's a talent show, right? So I thought, okay, what are my talents? My parents told me I don't have any. Okay, number one, I just wish my parents believed in my dreams. And number two, one of my main talents is talking. I never stop talking, I always talk, I have the best talks. And my other talent would be making extremely inappropriate jokes that might get me landed in jail in almost 50 countries. So I went for the one where I wouldn't, well, trigger most of the audience. So talking about myself. If you pay attention to the zodiac, the star stuff, you might say that that's a very Leo thing to do, but I personally don't pay too much attention to the zodiac, but I am a Leo, just so all of you know, just to make all of you aware of that. And, well, it's, like I said, this is my third Spotlight in a row, and it's been 3 years almost. And, well, to put it simply, a lot of shit has happened in 3 years. A lot of stuff has been swept under my feet, and whenever I think about that, I always go back to O Week. Now, I've had 3 O Weeks so far, and every single one of them, there's always one question that's asked by everyone. Where are you from? Who hates this question? Who struggles with this question? Now, see, okay, for me, the easy answer would be Korea. So are you from North Korea or South Korea? Okay, so before I got accepted to Jacobs, actually, I got an email from admissions saying, we need to talk to you about your visa issues because you seem to be from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, also known as North Korea. And I was like, first of all, no. In case any of you guys were wondering, I am from South Korea. in case that was unclear. And another thing during O Week that always still disturbs me is how Renee would ask, so who here speaks 5 languages? Who here speaks 4, 3, 2? Who here speaks just 1 language? Who here in the audience actually speaks only 1 language? Okay. I actually only speak 1 language fluently, and that's American. And see, I always feel a tinge of shame when people say, how do you not know Korean if you're Korean? And that tinge of shame comes from the fact that when I Skype with my parents, I still use Google Translate every now and then. It's gotten better, I swear. And see, language. Language is a really important thing to us. People, we're social creatures, right? You can see it in the surveys. You'll see one entire table of just like 30 Chinese people at one table or something, or Americans or Macedonians, I don't know. People like to be in an environment where they can speak their own language, and that's because, see, here at Jacobs, you expect people to be multilingual. It's completely normal. But back in the US, first of all, about maybe, 110% of people thought Africa was a country. No one has ever heard of Venezuela or any other country down there. Oh yeah. No one knows Eastern Europe exists. Everything east of Germany, it's just Russia at that point. And so basically, see, for me, at Jacobs, I would be the odd one out. And language is, one way to describe language is to call it a piece of home. What is home? Home is where, you can say, I belong here. This is me. My heart is at peace. Not just some place you can take off your pants, grease yourself with butter, watch Netflix, and rub your armpits. Although, if you do that, then I won't judge. Because I do that. And, winter break, summer break, whenever you come back from break, people always ask you, so how is home? How is it like being back home? And see, I'm always very careful with this. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I never said, oh, home was amazing. I love the kimchi and the Gangnam Style, great. No, I always specify, and I always say, Korea was great, Korea was good. I liked being back in Korea, but never home. See, I was born in Korea, so that's why my passport's Korean, but I was raised in the US from the age of 3, which, that's a very, to put it bluntly, developmental time of your life, where anything can have a very lasting impression on you. Like, if you guys were at the American CID, the very cult-like nature of the Pledge of Allegiance that brainwashes you. I'm sure any of the Americans out there, if you asked them to do the Pledge of Allegiance right now, they'd be able to do it perfectly, even if they didn't do it for 20 years. The illusion of capitalism, that gives a lasting impression. The American dream, that doesn't exist. Americans don't have dreams. My uncle's vintage porn collection, that gave me a lasting impression. Machiavelli's book, The Prince. Vintage porn, that's a good one again. And basically, here's the thing. Even if I tried to learn Korean and master the language, read a bunch of books on Korean culture and stuff, see, it's different, because that wouldn't be who I am. For all of you guys, from all the diverse backgrounds and countries you come from, you guys grew up in those. You were immersed in those environments, and they made you who you are now. For me, it would almost be like a facade. It would be like me putting on a mask if I tried to do that. And, well, I'm 20 years old now. 10 years ago, I didn't know Germany was a country because, well, America's education system is the greatest after all. 8 years ago, I moved to Korea, and I hated the universe for doing that to me. And 6 years ago, I honestly, with all my heart, believed that America was the greatest goddamn country in the world. Which is really sad thinking about that now. 4 years ago, I started to doubt. I started to believe in something bigger than Big Brother. And 2 years ago, I came to a place that would change me forever. A place where I would meet the best, well, I would say the best friends that I've ever had, but I don't have any friends, so. I'll say where I had the fondest of memories and the most terrible wines at TOS. And a place where a lot of your prejudices about certain countries and like misconceptions are erased or cleared up. And you learn so many things, so many different things from the people from all of those wonderful countries that you guys are from. A place that I'll never forget. And wait for it. A place called Inspiration. Inspiration is a place. Thank you.